freezing episode reached its nearly unbearable climax, our two principals, Rocky and Bullwinkle, were hurtling purposefully toward what they thought was Washington, D.C.
Now, let's see, Rock. What were we going to do in Washington?
Gosh, Bullwinkle, you forgot already? We're going to file for statehood for Moosylvania.
Oh, that's right. That way Moosylvania can set an example for Texas.
But what Bullwinkle and Rocky didn't know was that they were streaming straight for Butte, Montana, which had been cleverly disguised as our nation's capital by no one else than Boris Badenov and his femme fatality, Natasha.
Wait till Moose and Squirrel see authentic, artificial, simulated fake capital.
But, darling, why you do this?
If Moosylvania becomes a real state in real Washington, we lose chance for distribution rights for evil.
It's clear, Boris, precious monster, but why you put Frankenstein on top of Capitol Dome?
And while Boris erected the sham Washington, D.C. as a part of a truly sinister scheme, the citizens of Butte, Montana scarcely took notice.
Hey, Merle, some nut come a-running in here and asked me if I'd wear the Supreme Court robe.
I know, Selwyn. I used to just want to hit you in the mouth. Now I want to impeach you.
The nerve of that feller, Mother, bending our antenna like that. Now Channel 4 don't get nothing but the presidential press conferences.
Don't move, Dad. He told me I was the new curator of the Smithsonian, and now I'm putting you on display with that old typewriter.
At that identical moment, Rocky and Bullwinkle were nearing their mistaken destination.
Gee, Bullwinkle, our nation's capital off there in the distance. Doesn't it give you a special feeling?
Yeah, Rock. Almost like the feeling I got first time I saw Butte, Montana.
Yeah, just look at that gold dome.
Funny, I thought Frankenstein was green.
And as Rocky and Bullwinkle pulled into the station, a familiar voice could be heard behind an impenetrable disguise.
Hey, Moose and Squirrel, give you a nice tour of capital.
That voice! Where have I heard that voice before?
In about 324 other episodes. But I don't know who it is either.
Pardon me, Mr. Guide, but we represent Moosylvania, and we'd like you to take us where we can file for statehood.
How about in here, Rock?
Bullwinkle, that's the wrong building. That's the Bureau of Weights and Measures.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's why I got this card with a picture of Peter Lawford on one side, along with 162 pounds and my fortune.
Here it is, U.S. Capitol. Here's where all Mooses and Squirrels files for statehood.
Thanks, mister.
Yeah, and thanks for tying this handkerchief around my eyes, too.
But barely a few yards away, a shadowy figure stood ready to perform an unbelievably treacherous act.
Now, Boris.
You ain't just whistling Dixie, kid. Now.
Hey, wait a minute. You're no guide. And that doesn't look like the Capitol building. Come on, Bullwinkle. Let's get out of here.
But it was too late, for no matter how fast they ran, Rocky and Bullwinkle were in the direct path of the falling, phony Capitol.
Rock, you mean the Capitol isn't really made out of 1/4-inch beaver board with plastic clamps?
Run, Bullwinkle!
I thought you only ran in Washington every 4th year.
Run for your life, Bullwinkle!
Sounds like as good a reason as any, Rock.
Well, our two speedy specimens escaped certain squashing death by the giant 13,000-ton beaverboard Capitol replica. Watch out in our next nerve-spattering episode titled Bad Day at Flat Rocky, or A Record in Bullwinkle's Blot.
And now it's time
for 5 or 6 baritone solos in the key of E.
But
Ooh.
now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
You keep that up, young fella, and you'll wake the whole neighborhood.
Watch out, Pop. He's liable to sink his teeth in you.
Junior, apparently you've forgotten one of my most frequently quoted proverbs.
Which one is that, Pop?
Barking dogs seldom bite. Barking big dogs seldom bite. Which paves the way very nicely to my fable entitled The Hound and the Wolf. Once there was a pasture filled with the most edible grass you ever saw. And when you have a pasture with edible grass, you usually have a flock of sheep. Unfortunately, the sheep are also edible, especially to a pack of wolves.
What's today, Gus?
Wednesday.
That's what I thought. We have mutton on Wednesday, do we not?
Usually.
Then let us have it, them edible sheep.
And just like that, the wicked scavengers trotted up to the flock. Although this particular flock had no shepherd to guard them, they did have a sheepdog. Mauler was his name, and for a very good reason.
Cotton-picking wolves.
Now, this entire scene had been witnessed by another wolf who had a reputation for being the craftiest in the world.
I think I will decimate yonder sheepdog and then partake of a lamb dinner.
As you can see, this wolf was not the slightest bit afraid of sheepdogs. And why should he be? He never fought them tooth and claw. He used a fencing foil.
En garde, sheepdog.
Ordinarily, that was enough to send the guardian of the flock to greener fire hydrants. But Mauler had a row of molars that didn't know the meaning of the word fear. Without his foil, the wolf was helpless.
Cotton-picking wolves. Cotton-picking fencing wolves.
Mauler returned to his chores, and at sundown, after he had locked up the flock, headed for home. Unknown to him, he had a shadow.
No sheepdog can do what he did to me and get away with it.
Inside his split-level thatched hut, Mauler sat down to a plate of bone, hard bone at that.
I guess I'll have to gum my way through.
So saying, he removed that formidable row of molars.
Hey, they're store-boughten.
That was all the wolf needed to know. He would swipe the teeth, and the sheep would be defenseless.
Good afternoon, sir. I'd like to get your opinion on a new soft drink.
What's it called?
Sheepdog Cola.
Actually, it was nothing more than a concentrated dose of knockout drops.
Don't listen to him, baby. Go ahead, take a slug, and let me know what you think. Well,
Well, which?
how do you feel?
I feel fine.
You don't feel sick?
No, my gums itch.
How about sleep? You feel sleepy?
Not the least.
Must be something wrong.
2 nights later, after sleeping it off in Battle Creek, Michigan, the wolf returned to the thatched hut.
Quick! There's a starving tiger out there with a T-bone steak, and it's so tough he can't chew it.
That's awful.
Those were my words exactly.
What could I do to help?
Have you got any false teeth he can chew with?
Just those over on the table.
They'll do fine.
Hey, wait a minute. You said there was a tiger out there. There are no tigers around here.
Did I say tiger? I meant a 3-toed sloth.
No 3-toed sloth is around here either.
That's sleeve. Plural of sloth is sleeve. What do you have around here?
Just sheep, dogs, and wolves.
Well, one of them is out there with a tough T-bone.
Then give him my brand new steak knife.
Yeah. You know, you got tolerance. That's what you got.
And you know something? That wolf was so overcome with the dog's generosity, he actually believed his story was true.
Hold on! I'm coming!
1 week later, the wolf gave it another try.
Merry Christmas, sheepdog!
Santa Claus.
He knows me. What are you going to give me, sheepdog?
Give you? You usually do the giving.
Well, it's been a tough winter, kid.
Well, I'd be happy to give you something, Santa. Anything in particular you would like?
Yeah, false teeth.
But if I give you my false teeth, I would not be able to protect the sheep.
Yeah, well, that's the way Christmas is sometimes.
The crafty wolf was about to grab the teeth when a noise came from the fireplace, and...
Merry Christmas!
Santa Claus.
A ringer.
But if you are Santa, then who is...
Needless to say, the wolf beat a hasty retreat, but not so hasty that he didn't take the time to swipe the teeth. Bright and early the next day, the wolf boldly approached the flock.
Sheep, you and I having lunch together. Don't me, sheepdog. You ain't got no teeth, so you can't bite me. I'm taking this fat little lamb.
True, Mauler couldn't bite, but the fat little lamb could. That wolf took off, never to be seen again.
Oh, I didn't know lambs had teeth like that, Pop.
Well, you see, son, this particular flock was owned by a dentist. He had fitted them all with false teeth. So that's why I say barking dogs seldom bite.
I got a better one. Nothing dentured, nothing gained.
Nothing, just... how about a glass of sheepdog cola, son,
And now, here's that man with all the wisdom of bygone ages, Mr. Know-It-All.
Thank you, and hello, used wisdom lovers everywhere. Today we take up the problem of how to get your money back if not completely satisfied. For instance, if someone has gave you a useless article, like this aperture flywheel grommet with the vacuum gasket, you can return it and get the money instead. Pardon me, sir. Do you cheerfully refund money if not completely satisfied?
Absolutely.
And there you have it. How to get your money back if not...
Just fill out these 26 forms, please, then into our test cabinet.
But you said...
The first test tells us if the structural strength ratio of the Gramis is less than the designed performance assimilator levels.
Oh. Hey, no!
Looks like nothing's wrong.
Well,
Let's see if the problem lies in resistance vibration level.
No, wait,
Well, everything is okay there. I got it! Maybe it isn't watertight.
Now, looky here!
Seems to be in perfect order. Sorry, no refund.
But you said you refund money if not completely satisfied.
That's just it. I'm completely satisfied.
Gosh, Mr. Know-It-All, what are you going to do with your aperture flywheel Gramis with a vacuum gasket?
Keep it, I guess. I've really grown attached to it.
Attached to a thing like that?
Yeah. Got my hand caught in it and I can't get it out.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Canada at the close of the 19th century. The Mounties, undaunted, continue their pursuit of the most wanted man in Canada, Snidely Whiplash. And his most eager pursuer was Acting Corporal Dudley Do-Right.
Stop, Snidely Whiplash, in the name of the law! Oh, shucks, I wasn't that good.
Of course you were. Can't you hear that applause? Now get out there and take another bow. You two there. What a team, what a team. What do you call your team?
Well, I'm Dudley Do-Right, and this here is Snidely Whiplash.
Do-Right and Whiplash, only terrific. What a team. When you said stop in the name of the law, I thought I'd die laughing.
I just think those things up off the top of my head.
Oh, we've got to have you act in this show.
We'll accept on one condition.
What's that?
That I get top billing. Not Do-Right and Whiplash, but Whiplash and Do-Right.
I always knew you were a villain, Whiplash, but I never thought you were a ham.
I never thought you were a ham. Funny. Well, is it all right with you?
Well, I suppose so, the big ham. Anything for the theater.
Okay, be back at 8 sharp for the evening performance.
And a little while later at Mountie headquarters.
So that's the way it is, Inspector Fenwick. I'll have to resign from the force. It's the footlights for me. From now on, I'm in showbiz.
Dudley, think it over. The theater isn't the life for you. Living out of a trunk, eating in cheap restaurants, and teamed up with, of all people, Snidely Whiplash.
The boy's got talent, Inspector.
Bah.
I'm sorry, sir. The theater's in my blood. I must leave you now for... Ta-da! The show must go on.
And at the same time in Whiplash's hideout.
You in show business? Oh, come on, Whiplash.
You don't understand, Homer. They gave me top billing.
Yeah, but you're not...
Besides, this gives me an opportunity to get rid of Dudley Do-Right once and for all.
How's that, Snidely?
Come to the performance and you'll see. Which reminds me, I must be going for...
Ta-da!
The show must go on.
What a ham.
Nell Fenwick happened to be strolling by the theater that night and...
One ticket, please.
Oh, Mr. Do-Right.
Yes, Mr. Whiplash?
You have a complexion just like a peach.
I have a complexion just like a peach. How's that, Mr. Whiplash?
It's all pink and fuzzy. Oh, Mr. Do-Right.
Yes, Mr. Whipsmash?
When does July come before June? In the dictionary.
Snidely Whiplash is making a laughing stock out of you. Come back with me to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
What, and give up show business?
Yay! That's just the thing this act needs. Class. Did you rehearse that bit?
Why, no. I mean...
A method actress, huh? Know what I'm going to do with you? I'm going to put you in the act. Whiplash, Do-Right, and... what's your name, baby?
Fenwick.
Fenwick. Whiplash, Do-Right, and Fenwick.
I'll do it on one condition.
Anything.
I get top billing.
Oh, gee, now. Fenwick, Whiplash, and Do-Right. Songs, dancing, and funny business. Funny business, all right. To think that the name Fenwick would be degraded, dragged in the mud. Well, I shall put a stop to it.
Oh, Mr. Do-Right.
Yes, Miss Fenwick?
Why does a fireman wear red suspenders?
You have me there, Miss Fenwick. Why does a fireman wear red suspenders?
To hold his pants up. Caught you, Snidely Whiplash.
Curses! Foiled again.
Oh, Nell, little Nell, how could you? I mean, you are a Fenwick after all. Going into show business.
Oh, yes, but Father, don't you see? It was just a trick. And now...
Ta-da!
I have captured arch-villain Snidely Whiplash for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Just what the act needs. A fat man.
Really? Was I really good?
Only terrific.
Well, I did do a little acting in high school. I remember I was second lead in the desert song. What I long to be my own.
But, Father, I have caught arch-villain Snidely Whiplash.
Stop trying to upstage me, girl. Can't you see this is my big chance at last? What I long to be my own.
Mama's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mama's little baby loves shortening bread. Oh, Mama's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mama's little baby loves shortening bread. Oh, that's shortening, Mama.
In our last spleen-shaking episode, our two Moosylvania mentors had journeyed to what they thought was Washington, D.C., but which was actually just Butte, Montana, which had been sinisterly disguised by, you guessed it, Boris Badenov and Natasha.
Now, Boris Crowell, sweetie.
Now.
Faster, Bullwinkle, faster!
What? And get arrested for impersonating a jet?
Phew, Bullwinkle, it's okay. We can stop now.
Do we have to, Rock? I just love to hear the wind whistle through my antlers when I'm doing over 60.
Boris, baby, where did we fail?
And I always try so hard to do the wrong thing. Hey, who cares if Moose and Squirrel not squashed? It's impossible to file for statehood for Moosylvania in Butte, Montana anyway.
So true, my dearest twisted genius.
But was it true?
Look, behind where that artificial capital was, there's the Butte, Montana Lumber Company, and it's fallen too. What do you say to that, Bullwinkle?
What else, Rock? Timber!
And falling it was, right on Boris Badenov, who had no way of knowing that he had not disguised Butte, Montana as Washington, D.C. It was actually Washington, D.C. that had been rigged up to look like Butte, Montana by a clever pressure group in the pay of the Montana Muskmelon Trust.
Senator, here we decorated this here whole town to look like Butte, Montana, and still you're voting against our Muskmelon bill?
Son, I even voted against Medicare, and they wrapped 54 million Band-Aids on the Washington Monument.
Well, anyway, it really was Washington, D.C., and at that very moment, Rocky and Bullwinkle were entering the Capitol building with their petition for statehood for Moosylvania.
This is it, Bullwinkle. Look, they even have a window marked Moosylvania.
Hey, Moose and Squirrel, Moosylvania is explosive issue. Better hurry. Window is closing in 1 minute in honor of Aaron Burr.
Hey, isn't he the one that shot Alexander Hamilton?
That's why the window is closing. I got to warn him to get out of town.
Well, then give him the petition, Bullwinkle.
Okay, Rock, but you better hold this for me.
Thank you, Moose and Squirrel. Now Moosylvania is never having statehood.
Bullwinkle, we gave them our petition and they were fake.
Oh, well, at least we still got this little gift that lobbyist from the pressure group gave me.
What pressure group?
I believe he said it was the New Mexico Dynamite and TNT Trust.
Golly, Bullwinkle, this isn't it. This is the petition.
Then you mean...
And once again, Bullwinkle's incredible stupidity had saved the day, for at that very minute, a blinding flash covered the entire metropolitan Washington, D.C. area and parts of Elko, Nevada as well.
Boris, if angle of trajectory is right, we orbit Earth every 7 minutes.
See, I was right. Moosylvania statehood was explosive issue.
Back at the Capitol building, two friendly hands met in congratulations for a momentous event, affecting 185 million Americans.
Well, that's it, Bullwinkle. It's filed.
You mean Moosylvania's gonna be a state now, Rock?
That all depends on how many good Americans get behind it, Bullwinkle.
But will Rocky and Bullwinkle be joined in support by people everywhere? Or will the same sinister forces that defeated the Snooky Lanson presidential boom be at work again? Perhaps we'll find out more in further adventures of Rocky Squirrel and Bullwinkle J. Moose.
Now here's our own tribute to the arts, Bullwinkle's Corner.
Hello there. Today's poem is called My Shadow. Okay, Rock. Thank you. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He stays so close behind me, he's a coward, you can see. I'd think shame to stick to Nursey like... All right, wise guy, put him up, put him up. Anytime a dang busted shadow gets flipped with me... Ooh! Okay, you've been asking for it. Ooh. Well, I still got my secret weapon. Okay, Rocky, turn off the light. Oh, fiddle faddle.